Hello, it's Yvonne here to do your bonus read this morning. I'm going to use the Muse Tarot for this reading. Let's see how we go. See what's happening. I will be glad to get back into some sort of routine. It's very difficult sort of making the move like I have, moving in with someone who's already fully established. But it's working. All right. Where are we going? Five of Swords coming through here. These cards, I know they're very beautiful, but they are so different that when you look at the card, you have to actually read what it is, because they don't always depict the traditional idea of the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords in the traditional tarot shows somebody walking away from battle with swords in their arms. They look like they're clambering to hold on to the swords, which sort of gives a feeling that somebody has sort of won something. You look at the other people in the picture and none of them have swords. So somebody has won all the swords. And there's some on the ground, I think. And it's sort of the energy that the card is impressing is that there is a feeling of competition or winning at all costs, regardless of how it worries other people. But the thing is, the guy with all the swords doesn't look happy about his win. So for me, it always feels like an empty victory. It's like you've won at something, but what have you really gained from that? So I always call it the winning the battle, not the war card. So it's like you may have made some ground in something, you may have achieved something, but it doesn't feel like you've really got anything. Like sometimes, you know, when you're arguing with someone and you're trying to get your point across, if they turn around and say, oh, whatever, and you know that you can't get your point across because they're closing down. And it's sort of like, maybe you know you're right. Maybe that you know ultimately that you are right, especially if you're trying to push your truth or say that you're being true. For example, I had a lot of trouble with the real estate when I packed up my old place, and I'd cleaned everything up. I'm very clean and tidy. And to be on the safe side, I paid over $800 to have my carpets cleaned and to have the house cleaned. And I was very content. I'd done all the gardens. I'd cleaned even the garbage bins. I'd done everything. Everything was in perfect condition. And I went and checked and I was really happy with everything. But when the real estate went and checked it, they gave me a list a mile long of things that I had apparently missed, which was pretty distressing. And even though I tried to explain to this person that I'd left the place clean and tidy, that it was in fact cleaner and tidier than when I'd first moved in, and certainly in better repair than when I'd first moved in, she just closed down to me and said, no, you've got to pay to have it done. You need to pay for this. You need to pay for that. And I was so distraught about it because I knew that I hadn't left anything in any way, shape or form in a bad way. I guess then it becomes a power struggle because you're sort of trying to stand up for your own truth and you're trying to sort of tell someone that you've done everything that was required. And if you've got somebody telling you that you've, you know, left things undone or untidy or whatever else, it can be quite distressing when you're trying to get your point across. And I feel like here, this is the sort of energy that's coming through with the Five of Swords. It's like you're trying to get your point across. You're trying to say something to somebody. But sometimes with that Five of Swords, you can win because somebody can let you win. But ultimately, if you haven't got your point across, it seems pretty fruitless, pretty futile, I guess. So the clock just fell over. All right, let's have a look why. Okay, so we have the Five of Cups coming through. So you may have had to leave a relationship or a situation behind, even though you didn't want to. So I think we've all done this in a lifetime where we've had to turn our back on something or someone because we are not going anywhere trying to get our point across. We may be trying to enforce our own value. We might be trying to, you know, trying to get someone to see our point of view. And when you see the Five of Cups, it's like you keep looking back at this thinking, I tried to get my point across. I tried to show my validation, tried to show who I was, tried to show my love, whatever it was with this Five of Cups. But somehow or another, it's something now that you just have to leave behind. It's not serving you to keep focusing on what happened in the past. Whatever it was, no matter how sad it was, it's not really worth you focusing on. Okay, so we have the Two of Swords. So there seems to be some sort of choice that you need to make here. So the Two of Swords is a decision, and it's not an easy decision. It's swords. So it either means you have to have a conversation or cut something away, cut something off, finish it out. And I feel like something here you need to leave behind, you need to forget it, you need to put it behind you, and you need to move forward. And somehow or another with that Two of Swords, I feel that you have to let it go. We do have the Knight of Cups coming through and with the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles, and we have here the Five of Swords and the Five of Cups. So we have 3 fives in this reading, which is quite interesting. I do feel somehow or another there is a low point here for some of you. I feel like perhaps you feel let down by somebody, perhaps an offer didn't come off, perhaps an opportunity hasn't worked out for you. Whatever it is here with this Knight of Cups, something that you invested a lot of time and energy in has left you feeling a bit sad, in lack, unhappy with the Five of Pentacles. I feel like something good is coming here. Okay, so this is the card where I always say the Seven of Swords is such a strange card, and it depends on where it's coming out. This is, for me, this morning is about betrayal, being let down by somebody not explaining to you what's going on. Somebody may have ghosted you here. They may have left you out in the cold. Definitely with that Five of Pentacles. So something here you need to walk away from, you need to let go, you need to close off. Because whatever this is here, in your own way you may have won. But maybe you're not seeing it that way at the moment. So the Seven of Swords says to me it needs to let go. And then we have the Seven of Cups. Wow, what a sort of blast. Oh, well, there you go. There's the Ace of Wands. So that says to me already there is a brand new beginning starting. But you have to let go of it. The Seven of Cups tells me here that maybe there was something here that you were dreaming of or wanting that perhaps wasn't right for you, but you were so wanting to win, wanting to come out the victor, wanting to somehow get on top of this. But at the end of the day, you've won something here. You've achieved something. You're not seeing it that way because you're still in that Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles energy. So whatever it is for you, you're not seeing the good side of something. All right, let's have a look and see where we're going. All right, so we have the Three of Swords. So at the moment you're focusing on the pain of something. You're focusing on the sadness of something. So remember, when you're focusing on the sadness, then there is a time for you to perhaps realize that you've grieved or you've done what you need to do, and it's time with that Five of Cups to turn yourself around and put the past behind you. It's very difficult when you're in that grieving energy, absolutely, but this is what the card is doing. It's saying to you that whatever you've experienced with this Three of Swords, it's time to move forward. What a heavy, hard-hitting energy this morning. Nine of Wands. Okay. So you may be in the energy of doing, this always happens to me. This always happens. It's not fair. It's not right. You've got right into that victim mentality here, which is very much that sort of Five of Pentacles, Five of Cups energy. I don't deserve this. So that's why you're in that you're in that sad energy, because you're in the energy here of focusing on your sadness. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with grieving. There's nothing wrong with feeling sorry for yourself. But if this is going on for a period of time, then you have to ask yourself, is this really serving me? Because when you've got the Nine of Wands, you're really to the end of some sort of cycle here. And you may be feeling beaten up. You may be feeling like it always happens to you. You may be feeling in a sad place. But the universe is saying here, it's time to let go and move forward with that Five of Cups. Because there is something to come from this, because we have the Ten of Pentacles here. So there is something to come from this experience. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of opportunity, but something is sending you in a better direction here, but you're just not seeing it at the moment. Okay, Six of Swords. So you are about to move away from this. Whatever this is, it's starting to move you in a brand new direction with that Six of Swords. You realise the lessons you've learned. Maybe they're hard to see with the Three of Swords, Nine of Wands energy at this time. But I feel like you're about to be shown something here with the Ten of Pentacles. So why as human beings do we focus on the sadness and the negative energy rather than focusing on what good can come of something? I ask myself this all the time because I feel like sometimes when we're in a position that things are not going so well, we focus on the negative rather than the positive. Why do we do that? Because it's easy to focus on the opposite, but we don't. So we have that sort of inbuilt victim mentality, or that inbuilt mechanism that we have been taught, because we're always taught not to expect the best. We are always taught to expect the worst. We are taught competition. We are taught about winning at all costs, not being able to be vulnerable sometimes and just say, well, you know, that hurt a lot, but I'm moving on now. Vulnerability is really a strange one. I remember watching Brené Brown talking about it. You know, it's like forgiveness, you know, understanding that forgiveness isn't about the other person, it's for you, it's about you. But the vulnerability thing where people think, and I hear people say it, about being soft. My favourite one that drives me up the wall is when people say, oh, you're just being a girl. Like, how bad is our language that is the sort of language people use? So somehow or another here, you've got yourself into some sort of energy of feeling here that it's always happens to me, or it's happened again, and you are not seeing what's on the other side and moving away from this energy. All right, let's keep going. All right, so we have the Ace of Swords. You're going to see the truth of something here. And we have the Devil card. And we have the Six of Pentacles. So for starters, some of you have accepted something here. You've accepted something as your truth that is not your truth. And it's really interesting energy, because I remember talking to somebody about this not so long ago. You know, when you're dealing with somebody who is not putting in the same as you are, say into a relationship or even into a job, and it may have been a reading I did, and you overcompensate for them because of this devil energy. So what you do is it's codependency. So they're not giving you very much, you keep giving more, and you become more dependent on their gratitude or more dependent on their validation than what you do on your own. So you keep giving to them in hope that they're going to see you, or in hope they're going to see what you stand for. That's codependency. You don't need someone else to tell you how beautiful you are. You don't need someone else to tell you how good you are. You don't have to keep investing to try and get that validation. But it's what many people do. There's a truth coming here. So whatever this situation is, you're going to start seeing it for what it actually is. And it's you. You're building this. You're doing all of this. You've been doing the whole thing. But something has let you down here, and you're taking the blame or the responsibility for that as well. Let's just keep going. You may have been dealing with someone who had some narcissistic tendencies. You're taking a brand new direction now. We do have the Tower, so you're snapping out of something quick, smart. Eight of Pentacles coming through. So this is definitely about seeing something for the first time, because you're taking a brand new direction with the Two of Wands. So something you've been seeing a certain way is about to show you something brand new with this Ace of Swords. You have clarity here. You have clarity about your direction, but you have clarity about what you've been doing. You're seeing something for the first time. And although you're coming from this place of pain and grief, there's almost like this energy of an epiphany with the Tower. So it's like seeing something for the first time. So maybe you've been dealing with somebody, I know this is a good one, you've been dealing with someone who's been very narcissistic and maybe manipulative and gaslighting, but when you're in that energy, you see it for what you want to see. Remember, you see the world the way you see your world. We all do see it our way. And somehow or another here, you're being shown the flip side of the coin. And it's going to give you an epiphany moment. So I feel like you may have walked away from something. You may have felt sad, but you're still focused on the past here. There seems to be a decision to move forward and cut something out here. I feel that you are coming from some sort of lack idea that you're missing something or that you don't have something. And I feel like somehow or another it could have been betrayal here. But I definitely feel here with this Ace of Wands especially that you've got a brand new start coming. Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords is beautiful energy. The aces are coming up a lot in the readings at the moment, as is endings. So there are things ending so that new beginnings can come through. So I just want to have a look at this Ace of Pentacles sitting on the base here. So I have the Three of Cups coming through with that. The King of Wands and the Strength card. So you're taking, it's like you are seeing something for the first time, and there's like this energy of celebration, moving forward, taking up, understanding your own power and taking up that power and moving forward with the Strength card. A lot of Leo energy here. You could have been dealing with a Leo. There is a real strong feeling that something is about to be shown to you that's going to change the way you see things. And maybe at the moment you're not seeing that you've been the one doing all the work, or you've been not seeing that you've been doing all the investing, because you've been doing it perhaps a little bit subconsciously. Maybe you haven't been observing yourself. Maybe you think that's normal to keep investing in something even when it's not giving back. But that's what we do. For example, you know, when you're a child, if you come home all the time and you're trying to always get your parents to notice you or love you more, and they don't notice or they don't see you, you keep acting out. You might be naughty. You may start to do things out of the ballpark because you're trying to get their attention. But you may do other things, like you may become a really good child, so you'll always be in the good girl. So perhaps people will love you more if you're always good. So you're not naughty. So you may always have been that child. But whatever happens here, something you've taken into your world and into your relationship that says to me that you are always trying to be the better person. But you see that, so it's just not attractive for the other person. If they always get what they want and you're always submissive and you're always sitting back and not being, you know, fiery or standing up for yourself, eventually that relationship will become very toxic. And when that breaks down or somebody walks away from it, you've got yourself questioning, why would they want to do that? I've done everything for them. I've been always the best person. I've put in all the energy. If somebody's not going to love you, they're not going to love you regardless of how much you do. It doesn't work that way. If somebody loves you, they love you for who you are. And it feels to me like you're trying to put a lot of energy into something that perhaps you haven't seen how much you had to offer and how much you did do. All right. Oh, and there it is, Star Family. So it's a lesson that you need to learn by the looks of this card. So it says underneath, you're part of a team of souls, call in support. So there is something here you need to call out for. At some stage, we were all part of a soul cluster, a gathering of souls who broke away from one another to experience themselves individually. Those who are part of your soul cluster are part of your soul family. Your star family are those souls who cut from a similar cosmic cloth. You haven't just experienced lifetimes together, your souls were actually one. It's very common for star family members to incarnate at similar times, to work with anchoring a similar frequency of light and to cross paths with each other. I feel like here, something is being shown to you by somebody who is part of your soul structure. Somebody's teaching you a lesson here. And I feel like the lesson is to appreciate your own value, or to see yourself for what you truly are. Somehow or another, I feel that this is being shown to you through this energy, and through somebody maybe, deciding they don't want to be with you anymore, or leaving you behind. And it could be a family member doing this as well. But whatever it is, you are being taught to respect and love yourself for who you are, and to appreciate and validate yourself. You do not need that from somebody else. But I feel like something will be shown to you here. There is some sort of realization or epiphany. That Tower and the Ace of Swords is very, very potent energy for me. And it means that something is going to be shown to you to make you realize how much you truly are worth. I'll leave you with that. Thank you.